right. This is Mountain Bike Man morning podcast. I've got a grocery delivery coming at 6, but they don't normally get here till about 6:15, 6:30. So we're going to start walking the dog. It's 5:45 right now, and we're going to get going on the dog walk. Getting ready for our trip here in a couple of days, getting everything squared away, making sure that we take things like a portable water pick, shavers, all of my shit like that. My GoPro chargers, my chargers for all of this stuff, my 2 shavers, the water pick, the compressor, everything, the generator to charge everything, the batteries on the bike. Got to bring the chargers for each bike, 4 total batteries for the bikes. You got to have 2 fuel cells, a full double ramp for the street bike. You just need a single ramp for the dirt bike. Everything's got to be tied down, secure on the trailer so that when you're driving, you don't have to worry about nothing falling off. Everything is locked onto the trailer, so you can't just take it off and run off with it per se. All that kinds of shit. I mean, we don't stay at hotels ever or anything like that and have our Jeep parked out in a parking lot or anything. I stop at rest stops. Maybe I might spend the night at a rest stop if I don't feel like driving anymore. There's 2 of them along the way in a range of where I would stop. Plus, I don't want to be driving at night, because of all of the deer crossing the roads and stuff like that. I don't mind driving a little bit in the night, like maybe 20, 40 miles, but last year we did make it all the way in one day. But you do have to leave early in the morning, so we will be setting our alarm, and I want to get on the road at 5 o'clock in the morning, which is about right now, and I want to get going and get out of Las Vegas before the rush hour traffic, the whole shebang, and then just keep going. If you get tired, you'll pull over and take a nap, take a 15-minute power nap or whatever, but keep rocking. Driving through the middle of Nevada is not one of the most exciting things to do, let me tell you. It is a very brutal drive until you get to approximately Haley, Idaho. I mean, Twin Falls is a teaser, but really, even from Twin Falls to Haley is a very, very tough drive, and that's about, I don't know, can't really remember, I'd say about 60 miles or something like that. You go through Shoshone, and it's a pretty nasty area, what I'm saying? But once you get to Haley, then it becomes very pleasant. Let me see here, we probably got nothing. We do have the app running in case we do get a catering order. I'm only going to do a big order, but right now we're walking the dog, so we'll put the light on for you and we're going to rock and roll. Take care of this business first. We got everything ready to go in case we do. Let's close this down. And let's walk this little old puppy of Daddy's. Daddy's got a little puppy down here. We won't be taking these keys. Okay, we'll leave that there till we come back. We don't care about that. That's my buddy texting me back. I sent him a bunch of texts about Bruce Willis, his condition has worsened, and his wife, Emma. Okay, stop. Shut your mouth. Quit trying to talk when I'm talking. His wife is moving him out of the house now because his condition has worsened. He's got dementia, aphasia, dementia now. And, Bruce has got 2 young daughters and his wife, 47 years old. His young daughters are 13 and 11, and it's very difficult to, have a person in Bruce's condition, and trying to raise 2 daughters, is difficult on the daughters to see their father like that, where 1 second, a brief few seconds he's there, the old Bruce, and then the majority of the time he's gone. It's the way dementia is. But anyways, he's being moved into a smaller home, and he's going to have a full care team to take care of him, be with him all the time. And of course the family will visit him, but certainly as time goes on, they'll visit less and less and less. Of course, Bruce's condition will accelerate to even worse than it is now. Being away from his family, he'll go into extreme accelerated dementia, per se. He should have, if I were him, I'd have something, he should have, seen it coming. He knew it was coming. Something written into his living trust where there should be a law where you should be able to go into hospice and, incorporate that into your living trust. And if I get in a condition where people take care of me and I don't remember my family, maybe that condition isn't just yet, because there are times, brief moments, where Bruce might remember the family, but most of the time he doesn't. We got a dog walking down here. Right. Hey. Got a little dog traffic on the other side over there. So we don't want to stress or duress. This is the Mountain Bike Man Morning Podcast. I believe Chris Hemsworth also has this gene where he will get dementia or Alzheimer's at about Bruce's age, 70 years old, or it could be sooner, I don't know how. But he has the gene where he will have an issue with Alzheimer's or dementia, aphasia. Aphasia is just a more pleasant word for dementia. It's the early stages of dementia. And dementia is a pleasant word for the early stages of Alzheimer's. Maybe one day there'll be a drug. But I guarantee you, Bruce would not want to live this way. He should have had a living trust put together when he seen it coming down the highway and, put me into hospice. There should be a law where you're allowed to do that if you want to. That should be rewritten. I'm not sure the ethics or the laws here myself. I'm talking shit, but at some point, where even if you're only back for a few brief seconds, you might know your family or recognize your family. That's just not good enough. Where the majority of the time you don't even know who the fuck is in the room with you. She be what she be. This old boy is going on his walk. He's a happy boy camper right now. That's too bad about the Bruce Willis saga situation, you know what I'm saying? He's actually being, put into a different home environment now. So his two daughters, 11 and 13, can grow up a more normal life. Because being around a person with dementia is a very tough way to grow up. You know what I'm saying? To see a person like that. But those two girls may have the gene. They may have that same scenario when they get older. And I'm sure they're smart enough to where they probably ask their mother, is that how I'm going to end up, Mom? And the mother probably blew it off, saying, no, but you don't know. They would need to be tested when they get older. I was at my doctor's office, and they wanted to run a test. They offered me, they were looking for volunteers to do a test to see if you have the gene, the dementia, Alzheimer's gene or whatever. I said, sure, let's do it. And I didn't hear back from them for months. And it's like, I say, I guess I don't have it or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Good, no news is good news. And then they contacted me and said that you don't qualify because, you don't have the gene, or I don't know if that can be good or bad. I don't have the gene that they require to be a part of the program. So it can be good, it can be bad, but you don't know what that means exactly. You have to have the full blown out gene to qualify for this program. They want to experiment with drugs with persons with the Alzheimer's gene, dementia gene. But you got to be like really headed in that direction. You really got to have that gene to be in this this drug guinea pig process, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what you would call it. They want they want to experiment on you to see if they can find a drug to fucking alleviate Alzheimer's. But in any case, I didn't qualify for the program, so I'm kind of grateful that I found out that information. But you know, as I did it, I was like, holy fuck, man, what if they come back and say, you're fucked, dude? You know, I would imagine it's mostly a gene. You either have it or you don't. But I would imagine also that it has to do with lifestyle, things that you did in your life. You know, maybe you did LSD or fucking heroin or whatever, or some type of drug too, can probably accelerate something like that. Nobody knows for sure, you know what I'm saying? But certainly, you know, how you lived your life and what you put into your body, cocaine, fucking methamphetamines, Oxycontin. In excess doses and stuff like that. Let's take a look, see. Phone number 1 will tell us, oh, phone number 2 can tell us too, but I get direct texts here to see when my order is, and I don't got a text yet. So that means they'll text you initially. We're gonna have to cut this walk short anyways. I do feel Father Nature. We're gonna do it, not the super long walk, just the long walk. I feel Father Nature calling, so. Getting everything ready for the Jeep trip. You know, I wish I could pack things like my batteries and shit into the Jeep, but you don't put them in because the garage is hot, and I don't want to expose my bike batteries to heat, for example, or I don't want to expose my hydration pack water to excessive heat just yet. By the way, I do need to change that water too, by the way. I need to fill it back up with fresh water, rinse it out really good. Probably put a squirt of bleach in the water sack to clean out any possible bacteria or anything like that. That might be an upside thing to do also. But all of this stuff is on a list, so you don't forget it. Absolutely positively need a hydration pack. There's things that you need that if you don't have them on a list, you forget them. You know, you've got a portable water pick now, so you want that. You want your Norelco shaver. I am going to pamper myself out in the wilderness once or twice and have a facial done. In other words, I'm going to shave. So, we'll cut a water jug in half, heat up water, and do a shave like that. You know what I'm saying? Get your face, use a towel and get your face lubricated with warm water, put the shave gel on, and hot water from the fireplace. Heat it up and do a nice little facial out in the wilderness, which is essentially a shave, gentlemen. Pamper yourself. So we do have a shaver with us and a blade. We'll take I do have shave cream on my shopping list. We will take a thing of shave cream. You're not going to shave every night or even every other day. You're going to use your Norelco more than anything. But periodically, maybe every third or fourth day, you might shave. I have the option to shave, actually shave with a blade. A facial, if you will. It's the same thing though.